I would expect there to be, frankly, quite a few more indictments. He briefed President Obama and Vice President Biden and other members of the national security team about this specific intelligence that John Durham now has about a Hillary Clinton plan to falsely accuse and vilify Donald Trump with a scandal.
Former DNI John Ratcliffe foreshadowing a lot more to come from the Durham investigation, with a few big names caught up in the mix.
Fox Nation host Tomi Lahren joins us live. Tomi, know that you've read this report. What are your top-line thoughts on all of this?
Well, listen, I just wish that the other mainstream media networks would cover it, because it's pretty important. It has a pretty big impact, not only on the credibility of the Hillary Clinton campaign, the credibility of the mainstream media is also called into question. It should be on the tip of everyone's tongue. It is a bombshell report. If you think that Hillary Clinton's private server and deleted emails were important, well, this could be even more important. But it also goes to show that Donald Trump was right about a whole lot more than we ever even anticipated. And let's not forget that the mainstream media spent 4 years plus from the day he announced his candidacy going after him, his campaign, his family, laughing him off when he discussed allegations of potential spying and Hillary Clinton being involved and Obama being involved. They laughed him off. They told him that was misinformation. Well, once again, the man appears to be correct. We're going to see more from this report, but I just wish that the mainstream media would cover it, because it's important. The American people also want to know if they were lied to.
Carly alluded to this earlier in the show. I want to get your thoughts on it. Is this the official end of Hillary Clinton's political career?
Listen, I think Hillary is like a bad Christmas fruitcake. I don't think that she ever really goes away, because she is that narcissistic. And for some reason, the mainstream media is still dedicated to covering for her and excusing her crooked and corrupt behavior. You would think this would be enough to end her political career, but I think that she is so full of herself. She loves herself so much. The Democratic Party is so indebted to her for whatever reason. I don't think she's ever going to go away.
Yeah, and isn't there just a similar narrative running through all the top stories of the day, whether it's COVID or this new story that we're learning about infiltrating Trump servers? It's all about silencing the opposition, as opposed to beating them with better ideas or more information. How did we get here as a country?
Well, this is typical Democrat playbook 101. It's called gaslighting. It seems that everything that they accuse us of doing, it's actually things that they have done. And you're right about the silencing. You're right about the censorship, the shaming. That's all apparent. But I think more than that, it just shows that their party is out of ideas. They don't have an agenda. They have to cheat to win, whether that's Hillary Clinton and what she's being accused of, or whether that's through voter fraud or things of that nature. They can't just square up with us face to face and win on ideas. They have to resort to this, and the mainstream media is complicit in all of this. And I think that to me is what's the most frustrating. I don't expect the DNC or the Democratic Party to be straightforward, but I would expect the media, which is supposed to be the guard dog, the watchdog of the truth, to be stepping in here. Unfortunately, they are largely not doing so.
Meantime, Republicans are accusing Joe Biden's woke agenda of costing the military 5.3 million hours and over $500,000. This is with regard to training and the like. Why is this administration putting wokeness over readiness?
Well, I think it's quite apparent when you look at the Biden administration and they name climate change as our biggest national security threat, when we have, quite frankly, several other national security threats. I would say our southern border being number one, and then, of course, China, Iran, Russia, North Korea. All of our enemies have been emboldened by this administration. But it seems that this administration is dedicated to the social experiment. And a lot of people make the mistake of looking at the military like it's any other profession or career organization. It's not. Whereas wokeism might work for corporate organizations, it might work for clothing brands, for sports teams, it doesn't work for the world's number one fighting force, which is what our United States military should be and should be dedicated to being. Unfortunately, they've taken their priorities, their money, and their time to focus on climate change, to focus on extremism, to focus on Trump derangement syndrome. It's all a joke.
And our lives are in the balance because of it. Tomi Lahren, Tomi Tuesday, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tomi. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.